It's 6 o'clock, good evening, and welcome to LJ News. Is there anything else I need to know? The investment chief asked with cold fury. Before him stood his well-groomed office administrator, Melissa Caddick, been known by her maiden name of Grimley, who had just been confronted with the evidence of her crimes, 4 checks on which she forged his signature. Caddick shook her head. Only a month prior, Caddick had invited herself to the 50th birthday party of one of her oldest friends, Joanna, not her real name. Because of COVID-19, it was a quiet affair. Just family and a couple of friends held at the St. George Motorboat Club at Sans Souci in Sydney South. Caddick's vivid outfit at the low-key event was the subject of much discussion. Joanna and her daughter were shocked when they later discovered the Dolce Gabbana dress she'd worn had cost $2,500. Caddick presented her friend with a bottle of expensive champagne and a Christian Dior scented bathroom deodoriser. Melissa Louise Grimley was born on April 21st, 1971. Hers was a comfortable middle-class family, with her father working in reinsurance and her mother, the driving force in the family, a secretary in physiotherapy practice. Their house in Lugano, in Sydney South, was surrounded by bushland and backed onto the Georges River. Before all this, on April 20th, 2000, the eve on her 29th birthday, Melissa Grimley married British-born Tony Caddick, a builder's labourer who just turned 28. There was a relief among the assembled guests at the Garrison Church in the Rocks when the bride, who blamed her hairdresser for lateness, finally arrived, wearing a simple, full-length white silk dress, televeil, and a single strand of pearls with matching earrings. The lavish reception was held at Taronga Zoo, the Grimleys showcasing the glorious Sydney Harbour backdrop to the groom's family visiting from England. The year 2014 was a good one for Melissa Caddick. Through her brother Adam's university friend, she managed to tap into a group of surgeons in Perth. In April, despite her actual net worth being only $600,000, she passed off her investors' money as her own and was able to obtain a $4 million loan from the National Australia Bank to help purchase the house of her dreams. Only 4 days later, after her $6.2 million purchase of the Wellingborough Roadhouse, the family jetted off to New York for Easter. They spent the July school holidays in Fiji, then it was back to Aspen for a month over Christmas. On one occasion, when the snow was poor at Aspen, the avid skiers spent $34,000 decamping the family to Whistler in Canada. It was 5 stars all the way and a pattern that was to be repeated year in, year out. After his wife vanished, Coletti revealed that he had only $195 in his bank account. He told the federal court that he'd been employed part-time as a hairdresser until the COVID lockdown in late March 2020. He said his wife, who was the primary breadwinner in our family, was worried about the health risks to the family, so he wanted him to remain at home and to attend to household duties. In his December 2020 affidavit filed in court, he stated, "I currently do not earn an income." Caddick had a couple of close calls. In 2016, one of the Perth surgeons was going through a bit of divorce and asked Caddick about making alternative arrangements for the trustee of his self-managed super fund. Perhaps fearing that the surgeon's ex-wife might hire a forensic accountant, Caddick abruptly liquidated all his assets without consulting him and returned his funds. January 2020 was much like any other for Caddick. The family went to Aspen, where their 3-bedroom apartment and north of Nell, rented, not owned as Caddick had told people, looked straight onto the mountain. Investors weren't the only ones sucked in by Caddick. In late 2019, her brother Adam travelled to Australia from Singapore for a hip replacement. Due to COVID-19, he was stuck in Sydney when his family's close-knit world was upended. At first, the Grimleys refused to accept that their loved one had done anything wrong. But as the days stretched on and the pilfered amounts continued to rise, having struggled to deal with not just the public scandal, but also the devastating private betrayal,